there, Scott from Wessex in England. Yes, I'm a knife maker. I haven't done a vid for a couple of days on this subject because I'm still reeling from it, to be quite honest. The consultation period is now started. We've got something like 55 days left. Now, I know I had a word with Jacob Rees-Mogg, and he's had a word with people that are into this sort of cauldron pot of ideas, but the way that the 10-15 questions are posed on the consultation link, I'll put a link underneath, it's not looking great. Rather than knife crime in inner cities involving youths carrying knives is a big problem, what do you think would be a good solution? Maybe get some police on streets, youth groups, football academies, after school clubs, college network programs of inner city tower blocks. How many more ideas can we come up with? Instead of any constructive input like that from anybody who would have a clue, any youth workers, any community support officers, anything like that, where we could, interject with ideas in order to solve the problem, which is knife crime in inner cities, and the occasional ticky box thing on Amazon where the lads are getting it delivered to a shed. That's the problem that they've got. How do we address that problem is not the strategy that they're doing. What they're doing is they're putting forward their solution, which will not really combat the problem. The problem is inner city knife crime. Their solution is making it a prosecutable offence to get something delivered to a house. Knife crime. Poor age check. But the prosecution could be on that. That's not the problem and the solution. There's no link to it. If the problem was there's only a ticky box on Amazon, the solution is we want more thorough age checks. That's the solution. If the problem is the kid's got no prospects, the kid's got no future aspirations, there's nothing for them to do at the streets at night, late at night, there's a gang culture, there's competitiveness, the hormones are raging, those are the problems. What are the solutions? Better youth groups, better sports clubs. No, we've got to prosecute the post office. But when you come up with a solution like that in the Home Office, you're literally going to chop people's legs off, theoretically speaking, like Yodel, Post Office, Parcel Force, Royal Mail. They're going to wash their hands of it. So you're really going to stook it all up. And they say that was the first bloomin' question. We've got 50-something days left in order to go, excuse me, this isn't, your solutions aren't really going to address the problems. The outcome of it all, I don't know, because if their minds are so far down this certain blind alley, we got to really haul them back on track. If the age checks are not thorough enough on the internet site, like Amazon, you clobber the Amazon site. you withdraw their licence for 6 months. If Heine Haynes are doing thorough age checks, they're allowed to continue. If Ronnie Sunshine's do an age check and the guy from the newspaper gets a machete, gets an age check, and then gets it posted and then leaves a thing on the door where it's left outside, there was still an age check. The fact that the postman left it under the doormat, he ain't going to know. So the suggestion there is that when you get your packet, what I said to Jacob Rees-Mogg is it has an age-restricted label on. The postman doesn't really need to know what's in there. Could be razors, could be a pair of scissors. It's a sharp thing that needs an adult to collect it. The age check's already been done, and when he goes to the door, it's got this little label on. If there's no one there, it goes back to the post office and they pick it up later with their driver's license. That sorts that problem out. The leave it in the shed, never happen again, because it's got this label on it that says age restricted goods and cannot be left in the foyer, can't be left in the porch, can't be left in the shed, can't be left by the green bin, etc. Simple, done, put a sticker, done. These suggestions that I'm coming out, these suggestions that I'm just throwing off the top of my head, are a solution to a problem. Their proposals have a disconnect to the problem, have an overreaching arc to them, and won't stop the problem, and will only adversely affect people who are doing things dutifully. So if you're doing an age check, you're now not allowed to post it. But you've done an age check, because you're not going to start that commission off until you know that that person's 25, 30, 40 years old. You're not going to start a 2-week bloody project off until you know the person's got an age check. The fact that you put it in a parcel and post it to them, it's got nothing to do with it. There's been an age check. You have not broken the law because you've checked their age. And they seem to think that now, well, no one's doing any age checks, so we'll just clobber the Coolidge firms. So anyway, the upshot of it is, I'll put the link into the Home Office. Obviously, choose your words wisely. This is going to be another round of verbal restraint, I guess. But here's another little tactic. If you're the knife maker and you're doing your thing, there are some questions later on that have respect to tradesmen and how it will affect you adversely. But the first 7 or 8 questions of it are open for the consultation. Get your missus to sign it, get your mate to sign it, get your brother to sign it, get your mum and dad to sign it. So instead of just you, there's that many on top of it. So I think that's another tactic, and we'll just flood them with not giving up for this, no, not giving up, but they've just proved to one and all that they really aren't addressing the problem. They would much rather do a political grab of just extra bureaucracy to cripple it in a perceived position of they've done something about this problem when it's not going to address it. This is a purely political move. It's quite pathetic, to be quite honest. You know, it's like if there was inner city problems, that there's no industry and no that, then, you know, Stoke-on-Trent's lost all its potteries. Well, you're not necessarily going to be doing ceramics anymore. There's going to be a few outlets, but you need to be doing stuff like sports centres or tourism, or, you know, you need to inject some ideas and some flair. Not not this approach. It's rubbish. So anyway, I'll leave the link. Don't just yourself sign it. But let's force multiply this a bit. There. It's got Wessex blades out.